Hi, good morning, folks. Welcome to the Early Bird Playoff Report on the channel. Let's take a look at last night's games. Coming up. Well, we had a bit of everything again. We had I guess you could term runaways. There was a few runaways last night. There was a dramatic overtime, and there was another tight affair in Calgary. I mean, it's just... as this unfolds, we're going to look at it, talk about certain teams are setting themselves up nicely, and certain teams you're questioning, and other teams just don't look like they might not even get into the series. So let's take a look at this, and we'll break down the 4 games. Let's go into the first game of the night, which is Florida and Washington. Well, really, Washington at Florida. Let's take a look at Game 2. Look at what happened. Here we go. Panthers rebound in Game 2, defeat Capitals to even series. Let's take a look at the stats. Okay, the shots on goal. Capitals had 27, the Panthers had 36. The face-offs, 47% Washington, 53% Florida. Power play 1 for 3 for the Caps. Panthers 0 for 4. And look at those hits, folks. The Capitals had 60 hits in this game and still couldn't get it done. 60 hits, but the Panthers also had 39. 21 blocks for Washington, 13 for the Panthers. But there's the stat of the night there. 21 giveaways for the Capitals. Panthers had 6. Shots on goal, we'll break it to the periods. Washington in the first, 11-7. Washington in the second, 13-12. But they just couldn't get it done in the third as Florida outshoots them by a whopping 17-3 for 36-27 in the game. You know, the more this series unfolds, the more I think Florida's just going to get stronger and stronger. And Washington might have exhausted himself in that game with those hits, throwing 60. Then we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But the Capitals, full credit to them for trying. I mean, they tried. It's just, you know, this Florida team's a powerhouse, and the Giant looks like it's awakened. Maybe we'll see. We will see. A little too soon to write off the Capitals though, because you know they're one of the teams that got the split on the road, so they're doing okay going home. All right, game number 2. Penguins at Rangers. Here we go. Rangers bounce back in Game 2 to defeat Penguins to even series. And let's look at the statistics. Here we go. Penguins 41 shots, the Rangers 40. Face-offs 53% in favor of the Penguins over the Rangers 47. 0 for 2 on the power play of the Penguins, 1 for 4 for the Rangers. The hits 27 for Pittsburgh, and New York had 40. 12 blocks for for Pittsburgh, 8 for the Rangers. And the giveaways, high giveaways again in this game, even though it's a regulation. 25 for the Penguins, 23 for the Rangers. And we'll break down the shots per period. First period, 14-11 for the Rangers. Second period, 17-14 for the Rangers. And in the third period, 16-9 for the Penguins, 41-40 for the game. You know, if the Penguins are going to have any chance in this series, this is the one series I believe they got to go toe-to-toe physically with the Rangers, because the Rangers got them on speed. And the only way they're going to slow down this Rangers team, the youth of this Rangers team, is to be pummeling these guys on the boards. It's the only way. If Pittsburgh think that they can just match wits with them and skate with them and hit a little less than the Rangers, they're not going to win this series. There's no way. They won't. I mean, they pulled it out getting the first game, but you know, they're up against Shesterkin, and they just don't have the goaltending really to match that. So they're going to have to beat them in other ways. It's going to be tricky. But again, it was a very entertaining game. Still, even though the score was a bit of a runaway this time around, the The best games for me yesterday were the Western games. Yesterday, the day before it was the opposite. So let's take a look. Here we go. We're going now to Dallas at Calgary. Here we go. Ottinger, Stars, shut out Flames in Game 2 of Western first round. And look at the stats. Here we go. The Stars had 23 shots. The Flames had 29. Face-offs 57% for Dallas, 43 for Calgary. Power play 0 for 2 for Dallas, 0 for 3 for Calgary. The hits 36 for Dallas, and the Flames had 35. 20 blocks for Dallas, 5 for Calgary. And 8 giveaways for Dallas, 21 for Calgary. That kind of tells you the game, the way that game went. That Calgary looked off. They just looked off in this game. All right, here's the breakdown of the shots. First period, 9-6 for Dallas. Second period, 11-7 for Calgary. And the third period, 12-7 for Calgary. And Calgary outshoots them in the game, 29-23. This Dallas team, I kind of wrote off after the way they looked in Game 1. But got to say, they really came in with a game plan that worked. They really did everything to bore the Calgary fans to death. It worked. I mean, it's a good playoff win. It's a good playoff win for them to get back in the series. If I would have been a betting man, I would have bet on Calgary, that they were going to take a 2-0 lead in the series. And the truth is, I had a little more hope in Nashville in the final game we're going to go over in a sec. I had a little more hope in Nashville at one point to do something, but Dallas really proved a lot of doubters wrong. They're in this series now. They're in this series. Let's look at the final game. Let me open it up. Here we go. Makar's OT goal lifts Avalanche past Predators in game number 2. Let's see what the stats say. And I'll tell you right away, here we go. Yeah, that first stat tells you exactly how this game was. This Colorado team, my goodness. All right, so the shots on goal, 26 for the Preds, 51 for the Avalanche. The Predators chipped away and survived in certain areas, 56% on the faceoffs. The Avalanche had 44%. Both of them 0 for 4 on the power play. Look at those hits. This was a fun game to watch, though. It was 57 hits for the Predators, 53 for the Avalanche. And look at the blocks, 34 for the Predators, 10 for the Avalanche. So you can imagine how much pressure the Avalanche were putting on them. But they were up to the task. That's why they stuck around. And very low giveaways in this game. 3 for the Predators, 5 for the Avalanche. And we'll look at the shots by period. First period, 11-8 for Nashville. And then Colorado said, we're not having any of this. And they outshoot them 21-5 in the second. They outshoot them again 13-4 in the third. And 9-6 in the overtime. But Nashville was in that overtime. They were in it. So there it is for the game, 51-26. And I'll tell you what, guys, in this game, my feel right there, again, as Colorado unfold in this playoff, and I see Colorado throwing 53 hits against the top hitting team in the league, and they're a bottom 10 hitting team in the league, this is becoming more and more a belief I'm having in this Colorado team. It is. I wasn't sure if Colorado was a one and, you get kind of used to a team not doing something in a playoff. And this time around, this Colorado team is hungry, and it's showing in the hits the first 2 games. They've thrown, 100 hits, right, the first 2 games? So this Colorado team is definitely for real. They were skating everywhere. They were hitting everything with a pulse. And but my goodness, their passing game. It's their passing game too. It's not just the shots. It's not just the hits. It's the passing game. They break out of their zone so quickly. So to stop them, the Predators are doing everything humanly possible with the blocking and the hitting. That's the best they can do in the forechecking. They're doing the best they can. The truth is that this Colorado team is a very talented bunch, and it's going to be very, very, very hard to stop them. Let me close this, guys, so I can edit my video and have some battery left. It's going to be very hard for Nashville to answer at home and win both games. A lot of Colorado fans that thought they might make quick work of this Nashville team might be right. So we'll have to see. There's so many twists and turns that can happen, but the first 2 games are done. The only team to hold serve in the East was, who was it? God, guys, I'm so tired. I'm so tired when I can't remember this. Well, in the West, it was Colorado, and in the East, sorry, it was Carolina. So the only teams to hold serve on their home ice are those 2 teams. So far, that looks good. You know, you got 6 of the 8 series that got a split on the road. And my guess is that the other team, 6 out of 8, will get a split this time on the road. It's just the way it's going to go. It's going to be tight. I don't know if we'll see any sweeps in this playoff. We'll have to see. The competition's fierce. Fun games, though, I got to say. But these all-nighters, my goodness, I'm tired. I'm tired. I need the early bird to wake me up. I need it. All right, guys, that's it for this morning report. I got to get out of here. I got to get about my day. And I will see you folks with my usual Sabres videos later on today. I'll come up with some ideas to keep you from being too bored, Buffalo fans. And for the rest of you fans that are lucky enough to have playoff hockey, enjoy it. It really is a privilege to get in, as us Sabres fans know and miss. All right, God bless you all. I'll see you folks later on today. Have a good one.